So today everybody, we're going to hopefully be fitting our reversing camera. I've never fitted a reversing camera before. I've never even owned a reversing camera before. So this is all completely new to me. But the reversing cameras for this van are actually just replacements for the brake light at the back. So this comes out and then that goes in, and then you can use the same cables to wire it, and then there's just one extra cable for the camera that you've got to run to the front. But yeah, apparently it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully these aren't too rusty. Ugh! There she is. With a bit of luck, this will just clip in. Don't think it's going to though. Oh, why is that not going to fit? So I've got a strip of these terminal blocks. I would use Wago clips, but I don't have any. So terminal block it is. I might get a Wago clip just because I think they're slightly better than these, or I could just wrap it in electrical tape. So I've got a white and yellow cable, and I've got a black cable. So which one's positive and which one's negative, I've got no idea, but I'm going to assume that the black one's negative, because I don't know why you would ever wire something and have a negative as white and yellow. It always seems to be black. So I think that maybe the white and yellow is just a way of knowing that this is for this particular light, and then I think the other two lights might be a different colour, but I think the black will always stay as the negative wire. So I'm going to use that theory to wire it up, and then hopefully it works, but I guess we'll find out, won't we? So I've just connected the cables. I'm going to go and see if the brake light works. So if you see that come on, then make sure you scream as loud as you can that the brake light's working and haven't done it wrong. Did it work? So instead of just being able to reuse the screws that I took out of the old one, for some reason this has come with its own bolt and a wing nut. I don't know why you do that. I've also got a foam gasket as well. I guess this makes it watertight. I'm going to clean up around here, just take off all that grub, and then I'll put this on at the same time. So it's all on there. I haven't done a very good job of putting that foam gasket on though. It was kind of like a bit flimsy, so when I tried to stick it on, it all kind of like stretched and distorted. So I think what I might do is just run some CT1 around it once it's all up and running and I know it works. Now it's the tricky part where I've got to try and wire this all the way through the van and connect it to the monitor at the other end. So I've got a piece of paper here with not so much instructions, it's got kind of some bullet points there, but I've got a diagram as to how to wire this, and I've got a thingamabob here, and this connects to the back of the camera, and then I've got these two outputs here. This yellow one, this is what carries the video to the monitor in the front, and then this other one, this connects to the reversing light cable, because then I suppose when you put it in reverse it will kind of like trigger the camera to come on, I guess. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this without removing the whole back light of the van. I think that might be the only way. Our van's got one of those reverse beepers, so I was thinking that maybe instead of cutting into one of these, I might be able to just take it off of that, because I don't want that beeper anyway. I need to find it. Where is it? I've taken off the rear bumper, and underneath the corner here is all the connectors for the reverse parking sensors, and it's also got the cable that runs to the beeper, which is in the back of this bumper here. So I've just pulled it out and the beeper's stopped when I put it in reverse. So I know that these two cables here are connected to the beeper. So I'm going to connect the reversing sensor for the camera into these two cables that the beeper was in, and then we've killed two birds with one stone. We've connected up the reversing camera, and we've also disconnected the reversing beeper. So everyone's a winner. Right, all connected. No more beeper. All camera. Bit the old electrical tape. Right, that'll probably be. Bumper's back on the back of the van. Everything's screwed back. I just need to run the other end of this cable up to the top and then connect it into the camera. It's starting to get dark though. I think it's nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Getting dark at 4, I know, it's ridiculous. So I'm just going to run this up there, and then I think I'm going to hold fire until tomorrow and then carry on with it tomorrow, because it's just getting too dark and it just makes life quite difficult in the dark, and that's kind of when you make mistakes. So yeah, I should probably run this through conduit as well to protect the cable, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna put the insulation back in and try and kind of put some insulation around it or something. I don't think it's going to get damaged or anything. I guess we'll find out. If suddenly the camera stops working, then maybe that would be why, but yeah, haven't got any conduit, so just going to make do without. But yeah, going to get this done and then I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. So we're back and it's a very chilly morning today. I've got all the doors shut, all the windows shut. Luckily though, I've got the heater set up and running. That's just running off the plug now, so I've got it set to 20 degrees and it's slowly making the van quite nice and toasty. So the monitor that we've got for the reversing camera is this one. It's a clip-on monitor, so you have the mirror up on the windscreen and then you just pull these clips down and then it should just kind of like fixed to the mirror. It's pretty straightforward. There were a couple of options. You could have had just like a freestanding one that you just screwed into the dash, and I think there was another one you could get wired into the screen on the radio, but that was just like way too complicated. I wasn't really too keen on that, so I decided to go for this one. But the problem with that at the moment anyway is that we don't have a mirror in the van, so I have ordered one. It's not going to arrive until next week, so I won't be able to show you the finished product, I suppose, of having this clipped onto the mirror. Before I start running cables everywhere though, I'm just going to connect everything up, see if it works, and then if it works fine, then we'll just kind of feed it through, and hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so we're all wired in. We've got the video line which is going down this one into the extension lead, and then we've got the power lead here, so we've got the main power, the monitor and the camera all kind of like wired into one, just like that, and then that comes down into a massive jumble of cables and then it comes out here. So we've got the video line connected on the left, and then we've got the power for the monitor just through that terminal block there. So then hopefully when we turn the power on, that should come all the way through and turn on the monitor. Well, that's in reverse. Maybe I've got to do it manually. Ah, here we go. Ha! Right, you wait there. I'm going to see if I can take the cover off. I'm coming. I'm coming. Can you see me? So I've got all the cables fed through into the front of the van. I'm just gonna test the monitor again to make sure that I didn't snag any cables or any sharp metal or anything like that. I'm gonna stick it in reverse and then hopefully it should come on. There we go. Didn't even need to touch it. So everything's up and running. Take out reverse and it turns off. That's pretty cool. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I thought it was going to be complicated. I thought that getting the cable to the mirror was going to be complicated, but to be honest it was just a case of loosening off some of the fittings around here. I didn't break anything. I don't know if the clips are going to go back in as well as they came out though. I think that because the camera was in the brake light, I didn't have to drill any holes or anything like that. It was just a case of just replacing the light, so that was really easy. And then luckily we had that beeper thing that I managed to disconnect and connect into, so that was really handy. And then it was a case of just running the wires, and yeah, it was pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. All the connections though, I've taped in electrical tape, even the ones that don't have exposed wires or anything, because I don't want any of these connections to like come loose. I think the reversing camera was definitely a must-have for the van. I think we paid £135 for it, but I think when it comes to parking a bigger van in particular, you just need to have that reversing camera. So I think the combination of the parking sensors and the camera, then we shouldn't have any issues with anything, touch wood. But that's going to do it, I think. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Give it a massive thumbs up if you did. Installing a reversing camera, it's not actually as difficult as you might think it is. But until the next one, guys, have a safe drive, stay alive, try not to spill anything, and we'll see you next time. Oh, have a lovely day too. Bye-bye.